Lately, I've been feeling really burnt out in Salt Lake City. Creativity is at a low, and I think we're just really tired from the new baby, and there's not much change in our day-to-day life. So we decided to pack up our little trailer and head down to the desert in southern Utah for a 2-week trip. In this video, I'm going to share some of the things that I do to get my creativity levels high and keep them there. As I was making this list, I noticed that I'm actually missing a lot of these, so I'm not surprised that I'm feeling burnt out and stuck back at home in Salt Lake. First thing on my list is to just get out in nature. I grew up in Virginia and I have so many memories of the outdoors, fishing, camping, and hiking with my family. In my early 20s, I took a road trip from Virginia to Wyoming, and I started working a job in Yellowstone that ended up not working out. But then I spent the next 5 years living out of my car and traveling the American West, just working odd jobs and then doing a bunch of climbing and hiking and exploring. And in that time, I just spent so much time outdoors in nature. It's just such a huge part of my life. And after traveling around in my car for a few years, I finally settled in Salt Lake City. And luckily the city is pretty close to places like this, but you don't need these super epic outdoor spaces to get a little bit of nature. Often when we're at home and we're in between trips, I'll just take a walk to the local campus and I'll sit on their benches or sit in the grass under the trees and just get a little bit of nature while I think and plan out some of my ideas. And I always think more clearly when I'm outdoors than sitting in my office at home. My next tip for creativity is to use a paper notebook. In this notebook, I have a personal journal, I have all my planned out YouTube videos, I have a modified version of a bullet journal, a habit tracker. If you want to see exactly how I set this notebook up, let me know down in the comments and I'll do a whole nother video just about this. But something about that analog feel of a real paper notebook and a pen really just kind of helps slow me down and clear my mind. I've tried to do notes on my iPad. I've gotten paper screen protectors that make it feel more like paper, and it's just not good enough. I really just like that analog feeling. So I can't remember where I read this. I think it was either in Atomic Habits or Digital Minimalism, one of those books. But Lincoln used to escape the White House and go to a cabin alone for a few days just to think. And it doesn't have to be that extreme, but that's my next tip. You need alone time. Time without any input to just organize your thoughts. And that alone time is away from other people, obviously, but it also means no phone, no social media, no input. You need some time to embrace boredom and sort through all your thoughts. Next on my list is exercise and a good diet, and just fitness in general. I notice when I'm not exercising and I'm not eating right, my whole mental state is just I'm foggy, I can't think as clearly, and I just don't feel good about myself. I don't feel as confident. So that's an important part of my life. Just eat right and try and stay fit. It comes in handy when you need to climb a rock to get a different angle or run up a hill before you lose the last light of the day. And a lot of times I'm hauling gear around for some of my portrait shoots. So the more fit I am, it definitely makes my job easier. It sucks when you haul in a bunch of heavy gear and you're all sweaty trying to meet a new client and you're breathing heavy. So I try to stay fit, I try to eat right. I know it can be tough to find the time. Right around when our daughter was born, I really was not eating right and wasn't exercising, and I got a bit out of shape. But now I'm back at the gym, doing 3 days a week, most of the time when I can. And then Amanda goes the other 2, and then we have some stuff at home. We have a pull-up bar. I keep a heavy 60-pound kettlebell in my home office. I actually brought it with us on this trip. And we have a home exercise bike. I go for runs around the neighborhood. Anything I can do to just get active, get my body moving, get some of those good endorphins that your body releases. This next tip is one that I really struggle with, and that is to stop over-planning and just take action. I want to be good at the things I do, and I tend to overconsume and try and learn everything and plan everything before I start. But I guarantee that whatever it is you want to do, there's someone out there that knows less that's actually doing the thing. So once you learn the basics, you just have to start, and you kind of learn as you go and make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. I recently read a book called Creative Habit by Chase Jarvis. In that book, he talks about creativity being a muscle. It needs to be exercised and flexed to stay strong. So next on my list is that you just have to create something, even if it's outside of your field. Obviously, I'm a photographer and I work on this YouTube channel, I make videos, but outside of that, I'm always working, just making things. Amanda says that I'm always tinkering, but I'm working on the trailer, I'm problem solving, I'm trying to create little fixes to problems around the house. Just something to kind of keep my mind going and keep that creativity moving. The last couple of tips tie into this one, and it's all about momentum. You really need to build and maintain momentum with your creativity. When I have it, I know I have it. Ideas are flowing. It's so easy to plan out videos, plan out photo shoots, and I'm just thinking of creative ideas all the time, jotting them down in my notebook. And then when I lose it, I'll sit down to try and plan a video, and it's hard to come up with the talking points. It's hard to come up with how it flows. When I think of a photo shoot or I ask a friend if they want to take photos, it's hard to think of ideas. And you can really just feel the difference. And that's where those last two tips kind of come into play. You just need to keep creating, and you need to take those small steps forward, even if you're not quite fully planned or you don't feel like you're ready. You just have to start moving and build that momentum. And the creativity and the ideas, they just get stronger and easier the more you do it. That's all I got for you in this video. Like I said, I need to get back to doing some of these tips that I mentioned. If you found some of these helpful, please let me know in the comments below. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.